Welcome and welcome back, Fiber Friend, to yet another episode of the Wool to Gold podcast. This episode, I'm going to be talking about my whips right now, or I should say my whip, my singular whip that I have been so unbelievably hyper fixated on. But I know a lot of you, like, you know what, I shouldn't even say that. There is a like small niche group of you that is like really excited and gung-ho about wanting to see my next Tom of Finland design, and so I am finally delivering. Okay, I have made significant progress on the project already. The last time I talked about it, I feel like I just showed you guys what ended up being a design that I ended up editing anyway. I ended up adding the color, like more colors to the gradient that I originally thought I was going to be able to, because as you can see by what's in my arms, and I'm going to show you the tapestry, okay, the evidence is already everywhere. I bought yarn. I know I said I wasn't going to buy yarn, but then Michaels brought back Big Twist, okay? I really didn't think they were going to do it. They kept saying they were going to do it, and then I never saw it in stores. I saw, like, a lot of them trying to push the lines that they already had, and, like, being like, we've added, like, more colors, but, like, it was like 3 extra colors, and no one really beats, I feel like, in person, the variety in terms of acrylic that, like, the Big Twist value really added. Like, you can pull together a lot of different types of, like, color schemes and gradients with this yarn, and it's very affordable, and I like it. Honestly, I have come around to it a lot. I didn't used to like it that much, but for tapestry work, specifically, like, the ones that I've been doing recently, I just find it really fun and great. I know a lot of people love cotton for tapestry. I just hate working with cotton. I don't know. And, like, I have to buy it online in a lot of cases, and then it's like, I don't know exactly what the color is going to look like. I feel like if I could buy it more in person, but whenever I go to buy it in person, especially at Michael's, they have, like, only a few of the colors that are available, and the rest I would just have to buy online. I find that very, very frustrating. I'm not going to do that. We don't know how long Big Twist is going to be here. There are a lot of rumors that it's not going to be here long, which is why I did buy these colors, okay? These 5. And then I bought 6 more, 5 more, 5 more. I bought 5 more skeins to do the tapestry that I'm working on. So I'm going to show you first new chart for the tapestry. I'm going to insert it somewhere here. You are totally welcome to, like, screenshot that if you want to, but I am going to release it as an alpha pattern that you can hopefully use and will be easier to keep track of than just, like, taking a janky ass screenshot here. So if you just, like, give me like a week to finish this pattern, to finish making and crocheting this tapestry, so that I can make some very minor edits. I already think I've already worked out, like, one major, not even major edit. I need to add 1 row to one side. But besides that, like, I just need to fix a few things, and then I'm going to release it as a pay whatever you dang want pattern, alpha pattern, whatever. Because here's the thing, I'm not going to write out any kinds of instructions or anything like that. I'm going to give it to you in whatever format you want. I'm going to try to make it available so that if you have Stitch Fiddle, you can, like, just download it to your Stitch Fiddle, and then you can use, like, the progress tracker, because I know that that's really helpful, at least for me. I'm not going to print something like this out. But the only reason I'm making it pay what you want and not completely free is because the last time I did a completely free pattern, there was a lot of you that wanted to, like, Venmo me, or, like, I don't know, they were like, some of you were like, is there a way I can tip you or something like that, because I love watching your videos, blah blah blah. And so I will make that an option if you want it. I am putting it out there with the, like, full expectation that not a single person will pay for it. So please do not feel any obligation to pay for this pattern, because again, the economy is hard, and I want everyone to make gay erotic art, okay? Everybody should be crocheting freaky stuff, frankly. As we slowly slide into conservatism, I would really like to see more of us making some weird stuff, honestly. And this is my contribution to that. You too can have 2 men in love hanging on your wall, in your bedroom, in your bathroom, in your living room, wherever. I don't care where you put it. So I know you guys probably want to see the tapestry, right? You want to see the progress. I'm going to put these down. I don't know exactly what I'm going to, like, which Tom of Finland I'm going to do with these, or if it's even going to be a Tom of Finland. I do have, I'm going to share this with you guys. This video is probably going to get demonetized. Let's see if I can talk about this. If you're aware of what Locktober is, right? Locktober is over. But if you're aware of what Locktober is, I want to, like, crochet, like, I guess maybe a blanket, maybe a tapestry. I don't really know how big it's going to be yet. Let's say tapestry. Let's keep it small. And, like, let's start maybe just, like, 3 by 3, almost like a quilt sample, like a small one where it's like squares, and in each square is a different kind of cage. Because if you don't know, there are like lots of there's actually an incredible number of different styles and shapes and types and things like that. And then maybe like every other, like a key to go with it in like different styles and looks. I don't know. I just thought that would be really cool and fun. And maybe that's what I'll do with these yarns. I don't think so though. I think I might want to use some of the like crazier gradient type yarns that I have, because I think I can get away with doing like black and white or like dual color contrast images as opposed to needing multiple colors. That's at least what I'm thinking in theory. I have not put together this project at all in practice. It just like was something that came to me during Locktober that I do really want to make. Another option for this is using mostly these, and possibly if I have more leftover navy somehow from this project, because I had a whole pound of that like blue navy yarn. I've used a lot of it, but not enough, clearly. If I somehow have more left over and it can get contributed into this project, I might just use this as like a crazy accent color on something. I don't know. I myself am not particularly into water sports. I don't know. This is my podcast. Whatever. Be weird about it. Be mad. But despite that, I think doing I don't know if there's a Tom of Finland scene that touches on that subject, but if there was, I would love to do like the whole like gradient standard, and then just have the like the liquids in the scene be this like crazy chartreuse color. I don't know why, that's just like, that has really been sticking out in my brain as well. If this is my first episode of the podcast that you're watching, I'm sorry. If you're someone who knows me or a member of my family who decided like, maybe I should try to support Ryan and what he does and his efforts online. Maybe you shouldn't. Maybe, and I mean this in the most like nice, wholesome way possible, maybe you should mind your business. If it's gonna make you uncomfy, this is not the episode for you. There are certain episodes of my podcast that I think very clearly are made more for the general public, and then some of them that are not. And there are a lot of people who have suggested that I should just make 2 different channels, and I refuse to do that because I never got on here on this platform intending to be an influencer of any sort. Honestly, the reason I got on here is because I'm an artist in a very particular situation. I don't know, I'm trans, I'm gay, and I want there to be some record of me out there in some way, shape, or form. And I do keep a journal and things like that, and maybe it's very like vain of me to desire this. However, I do not think that, because I think that a lot of really some of the like most beautiful art and like most impressive things that have ever happened in humanity and for humanity have been inspired by people wanting to be remembered in some way, shape, or form. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that inherently. I don't know, hot personal take. Anyway, we're gonna put these down. I'm gonna show you guys the tapestry. I'm 64 rows in, so it's looking good. All right, so here's the tapestry in all of its glory. Obviously, it needs to be steamed, because especially this side keeps curling in. And it really irritates me when I hold it up, because I think it just looks nicer when you can see the whole image. We're almost to the fun part of the image, where the men are also connecting in a very intimate way. There was a lot of points during the facial, construction of this that I was doubtful that this was going to look like anything. But the more I do, the clearer the image becomes and the more it comes together and the more I fall in love with it. I think this looks great. I think this looks so, so, so good. I do think I'm through the worst parts of the project, okay? I do think that the faces, because you have to do so many color changes, like constantly, and then the bodies, just because there are, especially for that arm, that's difficult. That's a lot of color changes. The hand, you know, you really have to like keep track of your stitches and stuff like that. But I do find it easier and more manageable to do than this one. It's taking me a lot less time. I might put this up for sale on my website. As much as I love it, and it's by far my favorite Tom of Finland image like out there. I think it's probably one of my favorites of his. I haven't seen all of his work. There's some stuff that might out there that might, you know, make it into that ranking. And I'll crochet those too. And as much as I want to keep this one, I also, you know, have a lot of tapestries already. Two that have been hanging around my apartment and some others that are in the making. And at the end of the day, I can't keep all of them. And I do think that this one has I hate to like look at it from this perspective, but also just from like an honest artist perspective. Like, I don't know, we all got to eat, we all got to pay rent, we all got to like, you know, get gas money, and I have a day job, but also the holidays are coming up. It would be nice to be able to like buy gifts for the people in my life. It's also like supplies isn't free, and you know, it would be nice to be able to buy some yarn and not think about like every skein and all of that stuff. But in addition to like all of those things, I just think that like this piece is very marketable. I think there are a lot of people who would enjoy it. I think that, I don't know, like, sex sells, and I think this piece will probably sell, if not immediately, even if it's a year or 2 years from now. I do think that someone will probably eventually pick it up. And so, yeah, I'm probably going to list it on my website, if that's something that you're interested in, if you're interested in supporting me and my art practice in that way. If not, you can just hang out. You can just watch these videos and like and subscribe and do all the regular stuff. And I also very much appreciate that. Honestly, just as much. But since making this tapestry, I will say my yarn management skills, I don't know what happened. Something clicked and I've just become a yarn management god. Like, I've not needed to reorganize or untangle any of these yarns for at least 40 rows, which is pretty good for me. That's really good. I usually have to untangle at least every like 10 rows. No longer. Okay, so first things first, before I started this project, I caked up all of my yarn. All of it. All of it. You see that? That in the corner, right over there, hiding? That is all of the other cakes, and there's so many of them over there. There's probably 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 cakes at least, possibly 12, of all these colors. As I am approaching the halfway point, I'm very much accepting that I will have a lot of these left over, which is good. I might even be able to do another image with this colorway, and I do really like the way that the blues are looking against the red. I think it looks really, really beautiful. But if you look down here, you can see everything's in cakes. I'm doing center pulls for all of them. There is an order in which all of these yarns go through from top to bottom. Essentially, they go that way too. This one is considered, I consider this the very top, and I consider this the very bottom. And it goes this one, and then this one, and then that one, and then this one, and then that one, and then that one is the last one. Oh, and then you have the red. I have so much of that red. It's all in this, oh my god, it's like one of those like food carrier trays. I bought this to be cute, and now it's just like it holds yarn. Underneath it is more cotton yarn from a different tapestry that I have already shown you guys. And I guess when I think about it, that's also a whip, but also I'm not working on it. To me, right now, to my brain, there is nothing else but this tapestry. I've just been cranking it out. How have I been doing it so quickly? I have just been watching A lot of Rhinebeck videos. If you watch my last video, you know that I didn't go to Rhinebeck / New York Sheep and Wool this year. And the way that I've been coping with the FOMO is watching a lot of my other favorite creators and their videos on the things that they did at New York Sheep and Wool. And so I've been doing a lot of that. And I have also been watching the Jersey Shore. So I very recently watched the Jersey Shore for the first time, despite, and I really hate to admit this, but I'm not from the Jersey Shore, but my family had a beach house, and that beach house was located not that far from the Jersey Shore house in Seaside. And that's what I'll say about that. And so it's kind of surprising that I've never seen it. But yeah, I've just been re-watching it because the first time I watched it, I feel like I don't know, didn't pay enough attention. What I will say in my second rewatch is that Snooki is just so iconic. Like, she really is. She really is that girl, and I love her. And something else I will say is that as we, again, because, you know, I was complaining to somebody at the bar about this, hate this, like, Ozempic, everybody's getting skinny era. Okay, sue me. I like my voice a little bit thicker. You know what? It's not even about a personal preference either. I just don't. All right, so editing Brian here once again. I really did think about taking out this little section, not necessarily because I think that I'm incorrect or wrong, or that I mind sharing my opinion and having people disagree with me on the internet. No problem with that. It's solely because, like, I know some people could find just the discussion of, like, weight loss, the, like, heroin chic era, all of those things very triggering. So, as usual, I am gonna have little timestamps down below. So if you just want to, like, jump ahead of this conversation, not be a part of it, not listen to it, you are welcome to do that. I'm gonna provide that. And that's just, like, this also acts as, like, a little trigger warning. Like, if you don't want to hear somebody talk about, like, weight or weight loss or current trends or previous trends of, like, the 90s and 2000s, then, like, just skip ahead. I think it's healthy. I just don't think it's healthy in a lot of cases. I understand that it can also, like, it's a GLP-1 inhibitor, and it can be used to treat or help diabetic patients, and I'm not at all talking about that situation. I'm not at all talking about situations in which it is very, very, very much medically suggested or necessary to do so. I think there are a lot of people who, like, just want to lose, like, 10 pounds participating in the Ozempic trend, for lack of a better word. And I don't really know if we should be, like, using, I don't know, drugs that severe for, like, 10 pounds. I also am not of the opinion that, like, people should go under the knife for 10 pounds. And some people feel differently. And obviously I don't have control over those people's bodies. It's just one man's thoughts. My point about all of this being, though, this era that we are in, where everybody wants to be super thin again. Oh my God, like, when they're on the Jersey Shore and, like, multiple people call Snooki fat, and I'm looking at, like, in a like, perfectly average looking woman. Like, in no world would I even really qualify her as being, like, thick. Like, she's just not, like, dying thin. She's just not, like, heroin chic thin. Crazy. I will say, rewatching the Jersey Shore, I'm like, damn, the 90s, and not even the 90s, it was early 2000s, was just, like, oh, it was a hard time to be alive, and I don't want to go back to that. So no, I will not be shutting up about my opinions about this, because I do feel like sometimes, like, we as a society maybe need a reality check a little bit. Like, it's okay to not be baby bird weight. Many of us were not meant to be baby bird weight. That's okay. I don't know. Some of us were made to be himbos. That's what my winter arc's gonna be about. I'm bulking. Everybody can shut up about that. I'm bulking. I know I am intelligent enough to not necessarily be qualified as a himbo, but I'd like to look strong enough that I can trick people into thinking that I'm dumb. I think that's the real con, you know? That's how you get things done. Anyway, yeah. Hyper fixated on this, think it's turning out great. On row 64, I do think that the next like half of the project, because obviously I'm almost to row 72, and row 72 is the halfway point on this. I think that the second half of it is gonna fly by because it is like mostly portions. Like there's more just like red sections and like solid color sections as opposed to like needing a ton of like really crazy color changes. So I do just think that this like next portion of the tapestry is gonna go by pretty quick. So yeah, hopefully the next time that I check in with you guys, maybe it'll be done. Maybe it'll be done. Wouldn't that be so sick? I'm really hoping to get these videos edited pretty quickly and have the turnaround pretty quick. So hopefully this will be the second video you're seeing of me this week. Fingers crossed, that's the plan at least. Before I go, I did want to ask, does anybody have any actual solid information about how long Big Twist is going to be at Michael's? Because I would love to know. Please and thank you. Anyway, as always, Fiber friends, if you want to see more, if you want to make sure that you see when this Tom of Finland alpha pattern is going to be available, if you just like the cut of my jib, don't forget to like, subscribe, do all the things. I very much appreciate it. And I'll see you guys on the next episode of the Wool to Gold podcast.